Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Jai Srila Bhakti Rakashira Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees, welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission morning readings. Vamdeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Sri Vishakam Vitamscha Om Jnanatimrandasya Yananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vamcha Kalpataruvyaschа Kripasindhuvya evacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahapatanjaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Nanme Gaurad Vishe Namaha Vrindaya Tulasi Devyai Priyaya Kesavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavatya Namo Namo Sakala Vaishnava Pare Mora Namaskar Ite Kichwa Paradanahu Kamara Oyachanube Prabhu Jakta Vakta Jan Bandana Koriyami Sabara Charanam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasare Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Vandana Ki Jai. Srileka Didi is feeling jet lagged. She just got back from Thailand, so she's resting. In the meantime, we'll try to cover her service by reading the divine words of four spiritual masters. In this way, try to purify the mind by offering it, by thinking about the Lord and His associates. In this occasion, we'll continue reading the illuminations on the Śikṣāṣṭakam, the 8 verses written by Mahaprabhu himself, and they contain the spiritual substance, and he was greeting for us so that we can progress in our path. The first verse was the verse on the holy name of Krishna. Cheto darpanam marjanan bapam mahatabagni nirvapanam shaya khaira bachandrika vitaranam vidha bathun jivanam anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipadam purnamritas varanam sarvadmas naparam param vijayati Shri Krishna sankirtanam. I will just read the translation before we move on to the next verse. The holy name of Krishna cleanses the mirror of the heart and extinguishes the fire of misery in the forest of birth and death. As the evening lotus blooms in the moon's cooling rays, the heart begins to blossom in the nectar of the name, and at last the soul awakens to its real inner treasure, a life of love with Krishna. Again and again, tasting nectar, the soul dives and surfaces in the ever-increasing ocean of ecstatic joy. All phases of the self, of which we may conceive, are fully satisfied and purified, and at last conquered by the all-auspicious influence of the holy name of Krishna. This is a very beautiful verse, because is expressing the effect and the potency of the holy name of Krishna into our heart. It transforms it. And of course, Srila Guru Maharaj gives the real illumination and the real revelation of the meaning of this wonderful verse. I kind of even want to read it again, but let's move on to the next verse. So, Jai, the golden volcano of divine love ki Jai. Jai, His divine grace. Srila Bhakti Raka Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. So let me pull the verse, the reading, so that you guys can read it along too. Thank you, Didi. All right. We're going to read the second verse of the Śikṣāṣṭakam, written by Sriman Mahaprabhu himself. Unlimited names of God. All right. Nam nam akari bahuta nija sarva shaktis tatrar pita niyamita smaranena kalaha etadrishitava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaiva nidrisham mihajani nanuragaham. Translation. O my Lord, your holy name bestows auspiciousness upon all, and you have unlimited names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you reveal yourself. In your many holy names, you have kindly invested all your transcendental potency. And in chanting these names, there are no strict rules concerning time or place. Out of your causeless mercy, you have descended in the form of divine sound. But my great misfortune is that I have no love for your holy name. All right, and here's the illumination given by Srila Guru Maharaj. And it's essential for us to have the association of a sadhu, especially when reading such high scriptures, because they understand the real substance and meaning of it. Okay. Here it is said, O my Lord, you have revealed the chanting of your holy names, and all your power has been invested within those names. Both the holy name of Krishna and its potency are eternal. All potencies or energies are found within the holy name of Krishna. And there is no particular time or place which has been fixed for chanting the name. It is not that one can only chant in the morning, or only after taking bath, or only after going to a holy place. There are no such conditions. One may go on chanting the holy name of Krishna anytime, anywhere, in any circumstance. In this verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, O Krishna, you have given a most sublime opportunity to all. You are so infinitely gracious that you have given us the service of your holy name, Nama Bhavjana. Still, my misfortune is the worst. I don't find any earnest desire within me to take the name. I have no faith, no love, no tendency to take the name. I do not find any innate hankering to chant the name. What can I do? Those, those were the words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And now Srila Guru Maharaj continues. This is the second of Sriman Mahaprabhu's 8 precepts. He says, O Lord, you have given everything from your side to lift me up from this mundane world of relativity. Your attempt to deliver me is so magnanimous that all you require from me is a little cooperation in accepting your grace. But I turn a deaf ear to your magnanimous call. O Lord, I am hopeless. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us great hope in the first verse of his Śikṣāṣṭakam, or 8 precepts. He explains that the chanting of the holy name of Krishna, when properly undertaken, may progress step by step, revealing 7 consequences. The first effect is the cleansing of consciousness. Oh wait, just 1 second. Just one second. I put like the verses, the reading, the book, and a little square in the middle of the screen. And I realized now it's covering Mahaprabhu. So I'm just gonna move it a little bit. So the Mahaprabhu is not covered. That was like a new setup that we made. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, now we're talking. Mahaprabhu was covered by the book. All right, let's continue. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us great hope in the first verse of his Śikṣāṣṭakam, or 8 precepts. He explains that the chanting of the holy name of Krishna, when properly undertaken, may progress step by step, revealing 7 consequences. The first effect is the cleansing of consciousness. The second is liberation from all mundane relativity. As the third effect, positive goodness awakens within our heart and takes us to Vrindavan. Then, under the guidance of Svarupa Shakti, the Lord's internal energy, Yogamaya, we come to the Bhatu conception. We are potency. We are to serve Krishna unconditionally. Badhu means that rasa which gives full connection with the Lord, Madhura rasa. Ecstatic ocean of joy. After attaining that stage, what are the other consequences that come? One becomes a particle in the ocean of joy, and that joy is not stale or static, but ever new and dynamic. It is purifying to the utmost. Although we are allowed to keep our individual conception, still we feel that all parts of our existence become purified to the utmost when we take the name. And this would not only affect me, but all who are connected with this Nama Sankirtana. They will experience mass conversion, mass purification, the utmost purification. These are the 7-fold results of chanting the holy name. And the very first one is cleansing the mirror of the consciousness, of the heart. After that comes liberation, meaning disattachment from material sense objects or the material world itself. And then after that comes positive goodness awakens within our heart and takes us to Vrindavan. It means devotion starts to awaken. And then under the guidance of Svarupa Shakti, the Lord's internal energy, we come to the Bhadu conception, which is the rasa, which gives full connection with the Lord, Madhura rasa. After mentioning this thesis in his first verse, meaning after Mahaprabhu mentioned this thesis in his first verse, Mahaprabhu now gives the antithesis in the second verse. When such great hope is there in the holy name, why are we having so much trouble? Where is the difficulty? Why do we not realize the advantage of the magnanimous sanction of divinity found in the holy name? Inestimable grace is coming from Krishna's side. He has given us so many opportunities with the least requirement from our side. We must have some taste, some earnestness to accept the holy name. But there is a difficulty. We have none. So what hope can we have? How can we attain it? We may be approaching the holy name formally, but not from the core of our hearts. So by what process can we really benefit and make progress? The third verse answers this question. Although one may feel that he does not have the minimum required deposit to receive the grant, still it is not a hopeless case. The very nature of this realization takes him to the conception of humility. When one begins to practice devotion towards the infinite Lord, he cannot but feel that in relation to the infinite, there is nothing of value in himself. He thinks, I have nothing to give in return. Even the minimum requirement for the Lord's grace is absent in me. That takes him to the conception that I have no qualification, I am completely empty. The very nature of this realization takes him to the conception of humility. And I remember a dear friend of mine who is a devotee, disciple of Srila Maharaj, once gave me a beautiful analogy on humility. He said, everywhere is raining magic and mystery and infinity. And if we're not humble, it's like having an umbrella. So by not being humble, we're not coming in contact with infinity. But if we're actually humble, we throw that umbrella away and we're being soaked by infinity. But what is real infinity in relation to reality with the conception of Vaishnavism? We just read it. The very nature of this realization takes him to the conception of humility. When one begins to practice devotion towards the infinite Lord, he cannot but feel that in relation to the infinite, in relation to him, there is nothing of value in himself. He thinks, I have nothing to give in return. Even the minimum requirement for the Lord's grace is absent in me. That takes him to the conception that I have no qualification. I am completely empty. I wonder, I wish Lekadidi or Sudarshan was here, because I wonder how that is related to the definition that Srila Guru Maharaj gives on humility. Humility means being open to infinite possibilities.
Is that the Guru Maharaj?
No.
And what was this definition?
This definition? I wouldn't say it's a definition, but it's like the colors of of humility. When one begins to practice devotion towards the infinite Lord, he cannot but feel that in relation to the infinite, there is nothing of value in himself. He thinks, I have nothing to give in return. Even the minimum requirement for the Lord's grace is absent in me. I have no qualification and completely empty. And it's crazy because even Mahaprabhu talks that way. So something to meditate upon. Jaya, Jaya, Jaya. Let's keep reading. Okay. A devotee feels within his heart that he is not only unfit, but too despicable for the Lord's service. Krishnadasa Kaviraja Goswami says, I am lower than a worm in stool and more sinful than Jagai and Madai. Jagai Madai haite muni se papishta, purishera kita haite muni se lagishta. Even the compiler of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita says that he's a worm in a stool. And that is more sinful than Jagai and Madai, who were two demons in Mahaprabhu's Leela. We should not be discouraged when we think we have not even the least bit of merit which is required for the service of the holy name of Krishna. For this kind of consciousness is natural for a devotee. At the same time, we must guard ourselves from an insincere conception of our own devotion. This is our enemy. What is our enemy? Our insincere conception of our own devotion. That is our enemy. To think, I do not have the least liking or taste for the Lord is alright. But to think, I have some taste, some earnestness, some devotion for the Lord is dangerous. That's Srila Guru Maharaj. Conception. That's Mahaprabhu's conception. The egoistic world. If we are going to have a connection with the infinite, we must be fully empty. Our self-abnegation must be complete. Worldly attainment is a negative thing, and we must withdraw from it completely. We should think, I am nothing. I have no qualifications for being accepted or used in the service of the Lord. I am completely unfit. We must completely withdraw from the egoistic world and allow ourselves to be captured by Yogamaya, the Lord's internal energy. A slave has no position. The whole position is with the master. Everything is his. Realizing this is our real qualification. As soon as we assert that we have some qualifications, our difficulties begin. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says, I don't find a trace of love of Krishna within my heart. Na prema gandosti darapi meharau. This is the standard of humility, and that feeling must be sincere. It must not be an imitation. We must be careful. We must not venture to imitate the highest devotees. To genuinely feel, to conceive that we possess nothing and that everything is His, that is the only qualification for chanting the holy name of Krishna. So what is the only qualification for chanting the holy name of Krishna? Oh my God. Being sincere. To genuinely feel, to conceive that we possess nothing and that everything is His, that is the only qualification for chanting the holy name of Krishna. Jaya. And being sincere, I think so too. Jai, good morning, Q, Dandavat to everybody that is tuning in. And if anybody is here present in this broadcast that has some sincere small realizations on these Śikṣāṣṭakam verses that would like to share something, please feel very welcome. I am Jai Mahaprabhu. Jai, 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 Mahaprabhu. So, I feel the desire to read the next verse of the Śikṣāṣṭakam, but we're going to read Centenary Anthology. What? So, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. That's how you say in English? Like, let me pull it up, or let me pull it out?
Let me pull it up.
Let me pull it up? Okay.
Pull it out.
I'm still very confused when to use up, out, down. Like those phrasal verbs in English are so confusing.
On the computer, pull it up, yeah.
Mm.
Or if you're going to bring something, like show something, pull it out.
Pull it out.
Like,
Okay,
pull
okay.
it out. Pull it out.
I see, I see.
It could also be crude,
Mm-hmm.
like vulgar, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Okay. So I think we left off in... Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. We were in unadulterated purity, the chapter 11. So, let me pull this up real quick. Okay. All right. Boom. Jaya Centenary Anthology, Pastimes, Glories, and Teachings of His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Raka Srila Goswami Maharaj. This was an amazing verse, an amazing book. And it's comprehended by two parts. The first part shares and distributes the pastimes of Srila Guru Maharaj in relation to Srila Govinda Maharaj, to Srila Prabhupada, to his guru Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, how he was as a kid, as a teenager, when he was in college, his early days as a brahmachari, his early days when he took sannyas. And this first part really helped us to understand who Srila Guru Maharaj is, and to most importantly understand what Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat is, because we want to understand an organization. We must understand the leader. If we understand the leader, we understand the organization. So what an amazing book. I highly recommend everybody to read it. It's on the MAD website. It's called Centenary Anthology. And then the second part are the talks, the words spoken by Srila Guru Maharaj, and they were compiled. And we have been reading many things on this second part, many lessons, many teachings by Srila Guru Maharaj that hopefully they will one day will be revealed in our hearts. Because every paragraph is spoken by Srila Guru Maharaj is just so condensed and full of substance, transcendental substance. But anyways, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Jai Centenary Anthology Ki, Jai Gurudev. Chapter 11, Unadulterated Purity, by Srila Bhakti Rakshak, Srila Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Question: Maharaj, what is the meaning of chastity for the proper disciple? Srila Srila Maharaj: chastity is faithfulness to the cause for which we have come. It is a relative term. Chastity in the absolute sense is unchangeable adherence to Krishna consciousness. There also may be relative chastity, such as when someone sincerely pursues his interest in a particular plane. However, that type of sincerity is not complete. We think sincerity is only complete When one comes to accept Krishna consciousness of Godhead, other forms of chastity are all relative. No knowledge separate from Krishna consciousness is chaste. In Krishna consciousness, we also may not think that by getting the touch of Krishna consciousness, we have acquired the whole thing. When we get the pure conception of Krishna consciousness, the hazy conceptions will vanish. There are also different stages of realization in pure Krishna consciousness, and by its degree of awakening, we become more and more chaste. Chastity means our adherence to the truth that we have come to realize. That truth is in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not a limited thing that one can capture in his hand and swallow. It is of infinite character. There is gradation and there is room for progress in Krishna consciousness. We will say that no one is chaste due to his own sincere progress, not due to adherence to the figure, the formal conception. We will say that one is chaste due to his own sincere progress, not due to the adherence to the figure, the formal conception. Vyasovetina vetiba. Such a strong expression is also there. Vyasovetina vetiba. All rights reserved. Krishna consciousness is unlimited. Still, there is a possibility of conceiving its purity in its unadulterated form, and the acharyas are giving that to us. In the beginning, a new student who gains admission to a college cannot expect to know anything and everything. We need to have systematic, properly adjusted knowledge. There are many amongst our group who heard Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's advices and words, but only partly. One day, a senior man and sannyasi repeated something Srila Prabhupada has said, although it related to a particular time and place. He wanted to utilize that in a universal way. I gave some objection. Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada told this. It is true, but this is not the whole thing. He explained other things also. Therefore, we have to harmonize. We cannot ignore the other part of his advice. We have to come into adjustment and systematic understanding of the words of Sri Gurudev. The partial aspect may sometimes lay stress on a particular point, and who has attentively caught that, he may only take that and nothing beyond. But systematic knowledge of the whole must be understood. In a progressive life, the plane where one devotee may want to withdraw from to make further progress may be the goal of attainment for another devotee. The object of attainment for the Kanishta Adhikari, a Madhyama Adhikari, may withdraw from in his attempt to climb higher, as in ascending a staircase step by step. Under the guidance of one guru, there are so many different sections of disciples. All the students may not be equal in their realization. One can understand to a certain extent. Another can understand something more. And another can understand even more. In this way, there may be gradation. Even the senior disciples may fall back and the juniors may go up. That is also possible. We have seen, and you can also see now, many of the older ones have gone away and the newcomers are showing greater energy. You may find that amongst yourselves, as we also found amongst ourselves, there is no stereotyped rules. It is a living thing. Krishna is there. He says that he has not finished himself in his own shastras. What I have given in the shastras, you must do that. But One who crosses that to come to me is my higher servitor. Krishna says. So, Krishna is living and he's above all. A transaction, a trade may be, I'll read that again. A transaction, a trade may be made by cash or by loan, whether trading or purchasing with cash or purchasing with a loan. He's there, he's master, he's autocrat. His dealings should not be limited even by the scriptures. He says, even crossing the scriptures, I exist, even though those directions are given by me. Agyajaivagunandoshan mayadishtana pidvakan dharmam samtyajajaha sarvanyam bhajet sacha satamaha. So directions are of different classes. And Krishna says, sometimes it will be necessary to show devotion to me, even crossing my own laws. We must also consider the realizations of higher devotees. So many things are there, but the main thing is faithfulness. To die for the cause, die to live. Simplicity means to be independent of ancient prejudices, to be empty, to be unpossessed of the malpossession, to be clear, to be free of foreign possession. That is simplicity. Formal and substantial. There are two different things. And here is the main difficulty in our progress. Śikṣāṣṭakam. Progress means to deal with these two difficulties, to stick to one's former position, and beyond that, to make progress, advance. If advancement is not sure, it is judicious to stick to the former position. If there is any doubt of progress, one should stick to the former position. But that is not progress. Progress means to leave the former position and go ahead. Only one who is hopeful of his bright future should leave his former position and go to advance. Those who are of doubtful mentality, suspicious mentality, it is better for them to stick to their former position, where they already have a consolidated foundation. They should take their stand there, according to his own progress. He cannot but see that some things must be rejected and some new things in front must be invited to come near. Progress means this. And I'm going to... This reminds me to auspicious invocation of Sharanagati, Bhajan by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It reminds me to two of the 6 limbs of surrender, which are, this is actually important for us to learn. Because Sharanagati is our practice. Without Sharanagati, as Srila Guru Maharaja says, and as Sudarshan Prabhu says, and Srileka Prabhu says, Raikishwari Didi says. What did I say? Oh, my bad. Srileka Didi. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Without surrender, which means proper acquaintance with the environment, the holy name has no effect in us. And even Guru Maharaj said it. We read it yesterday. The first step before chanting the holy names is surrender. So it is important for us to understand how to practice surrender, Sharanagati. And it's very practical. What are those 6 limbs of surrender? Is Dainya, Manivedana, Goptirte Varanam, Abhasya Vaksile Krishna. And then the 2 other ones, Bhakti Anukula Matra and Bhakti Pratikula Bhava. So, humility, Dainya, self-giving, Atma Nivedana, Goptirte Varana, embracing his guardianship, Avasya Raksive Krishna, Vishvasapalana, having confidence in his guardianship. And then Bhakti Anukula Matra, acceptance of all activities favorable of devotion, and then bhakti pratikula bhava, embracing rejection of adversity to devotion. So, super important to remember these 6 limbs of surrender because it will actually help us. And as Sripad Sudarshan Prabhu always says, the most important limb of these 6 is Goptirtha Varanam, embracing his guardianship, meaning that he's our friend and he wants, well, I'm not sure how Sudarshan Prabhu and Srila Guru Maharaj said it, but I think he wants the best, who knows what's best for us and who wants the best for us. I think it's in between those lines. By having trust in his guardianship, then we will not have problems with his will. And when we get angry and sad, it is essentially because we have a problem with Krishna's will. So by having faith in his guardianship, when we embrace his guardianship, then we're ready for anything. That is a gift that Srimad Mahaprabhu is giving us, and Srila Guru Maharaj. And now in this modern age, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission is Yuta is sharing this conception through Sudarshan Prabhu, Sri Lekha Didi, Raikishori Didi, Nyasi Maharaj. So now, why are we talking about the 6 limbs of surrender now? Because Srila Guru Maharaj is talking about this. I'm going to read this paragraph again. Formal and substantial. There are 2 different things. And here's the main difficulty in our progress. Shreya Svadharme. Progress means to deal with these 2 difficulties. To stick to one's former position. And beyond that, to make progress, advance. If advancement is not sure, it is judicious to stick to the former position. If there is any doubt of progress, one should stick to the former position. But that is not progress. Progress means to leave the former position and go ahead. Only one who is hopeful of his bright future should leave his former position and go to advance. Those who are of doubtful mentality, suspicious mentality, it is better for them to stick to their former position, where they already have a consolidated foundation. They should take their stand there. According to his own progress, he cannot but see that some things must be rejected and some new things in front must be invited to come near. Progress means this. Bhakti Anukula Matra, Bhakti Pratikula Bhava, 2 limbs of surrender. And imagine a person swimming. And I think we all know in the privacy of our own hearts, what are those things that we need to leave behind. But we don't want, because it's hard, because it's a sacrifice, because it's difficult. But there is a path. There is our progress in the obstacle that we have in front of us. Jai Shri Gita, Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission. In his book, Brihad Bhagavatamritam, Srila Sanatana Goswami has given Sambandhagyan, the knowledge of the relationship between ourselves and the Lord. We have to follow that closely. That means proper adjustment. At first, we shall have some sort of approximate knowledge, and that will be realized more and more. Taking our stand in a particular position, if we look out, we will be able to say, this is here, this is there, this is lower, this is higher, etc. In Krishna consciousness, we must understand Sambandhagyan. And what does Sambandhagyan mean? Sambandhagyan means a proper acquaintance with the environment, meaning systematic knowledge. And Gurudev is the one who applies Sambandhagyan in your eye. It means literally is helping you see reality as it is. What is what? Meaning there's gradation in everything. We're not in the same level of realization as someone who just enters the temple for the first time. So Srila Guru Maharaj says this, that we have to follow that closely. And what is the best way to have a proper acquaintance with the environment? Jai Srimad Mahaprabhu. Is number one, having association of Gurudev, which is the essence of our practice. And second, Brihad Bhagavatamritam, which is a book that Srila Didi reads every Sunday. Brihad Bhagavatamritam, Srila Sanatana Goswami has given Sambandha Jnana, the knowledge of the relationship between ourselves and the Lord. What I do not find to be my own, I must not take risk for that. But when I find this is my own, even though it may be a little far, then I must jump there. This is my own, and my inner hankering is only searching for that thing. And if I find that is within my reach, then I must jump there. It depends on our sincerity and our proper understanding. There are many who cannot control the temptation from within to exploit the Guru or Krishna, Guru Bhogi, Krishna Bhogi, and create some facilities for their own personal exploitation. That is also possible. Someone who cannot control the temptation from within to exploit Guru or Krishna and create some facilities for their own personal exploitation. That is also possible, Srila Guru Maharaj is saying. A real student, a bona fide student, must be alert on all sides whether non-Krishna is coming in disguise. We must try to recognize that and save ourselves. If we are sincere, no one can disturb us. Bibhishan said, we must be careful, very careful about the Maya tactics of the opposing party. Hanuman was keeping Ram and Lakshman in a room made of his tail. And Bibhishan warned Hanuman, be very careful, Mahiravana will come and try to deceive you in disguise. Then at last Mahiravana came in the garb of Bibhishan himself and took them away. There is a good possibility that Maya will approach us. We have to be very careful to protect those available tendencies within us and maintain our taste and the vision of our inner awakening. We must maintain that and if possible make some progress in our line. That is our interest. God, save me from my enemies, and God, save me from my friends. That expression is also there. You must be alert that as a friend, someone may not go to deceive you. You must be so much careful. At your own risk, pray to the Supreme. The Chaitya Guru. I think that is the inner Guru, right? The Chaitya Guru. For giving you the right direction. What is what? What is to be accepted? It is a crucial point. I don't want to take the responsibility. Mahaprabhu and Krishna also do not take the responsibility. Even though Krishna can control everything, he also says, you're free. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna instructs, I have said what I had to say. Now Arjuna, you decide what you want to do. Bimrishai tat asheshena. Bimrishai tat asheshena. Think it over exhaustively. Think it over to the best of your ability and then decide what step you are going to accept. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paribrajaka Varya Shatarashata Shishimad Bhakti Raka Shiradev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. That was written here, by the way. Alright. Jaya, Centenary Anthology, Pastimes, Glories of and Teachings of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Raka Shiradev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Okay, we're gonna chant Hari Haraya, Nama Krishna, Yadavaya Namaha. And then we'll conclude these morning readings. Everybody, thank you. We appreciate your presence. It's nice to offer our mind. That is the only way to control the mind, by offering it. Jai. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shrimad Sudana.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shrimad Sudana.
Giridhari Gopinata Madana Mohana.
Girirari Gopinata Madana Mohana.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhata Raghunatha.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhata Raghunatha.
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunatha.
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunatha.
He Chai Gosai Kori Charana Vandana.
Nichai Gosa Kori Charana Vandana.
Jahoite Vinana Shavishta Purana.
Jate Vignana Savisa Purana.
He Chai Gosai Jara Muhitara Dasa.
Nichai Gosa Jara Muritara Dasa.
Dasavara Pada Renu Mora Panchagrasa.
Dasavara Pararenu Mora Panchagrasa.
Tadvira Charana Sevi Vakta Sanivasa.
Tadvira Charana Sevi Bhakti Sanivasa.
Janame Mora Eya Vilasa.
Janame More Abhilasa.
Ichai Gosai Jave Braje Koilavasa.
Jai Gosai Jave Raja Kolavasa.
Shri Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakasha.
Shri Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakasha.
Anande Bolo Hari Vaja Vrindavanam.
Anande Bolo Hari Vaja Vrindavanam.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Parima Jai Jamana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Parima Jayamana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Parapama Koriyasam.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Parapana Koriyasam.
Harinama Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Dasam.
Harinama Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Dasa.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Jaya Gaura Sundar, Jaya Gaura Sundar, Jaya Gaura Sundar, Jaya Gaura Sundar.
Jaya Gaura Sundar, Jaya Gaura Sundar, Jaya Gaura Sundar, Jaya Gaura Sundar.
Nitai Gura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jai Nama Sankirtan ki jai, jai Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Maharaj. Jai Om Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Raka Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Bhagavam Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Jai Shri Rupanu Guru Varga ki jai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna ki jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Vrinda ki jai. Jai Kaur Kartels ki jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Om. Dandavat to everybody. Thank you for being here. Kyo, good morning. To make sure what time the morning readings start. At 8 in the morning. And we have been offensive. And we have been started 15 minutes later. So I appreciate your patience and your time, Kyo. Thank you for asking. Have a great day, Q, and everybody that is tuning in. Hare Krishna. Remember the Lord.